Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a titanium version of a watch that launched as white gold in 2015. This is the Bethune DB25 Quetzalcoatl, a tribute to Mesoamerican history. It features a titanium case, a solid gold dial, and hand-engraved golden sculptures. The watch is 44 millimeters in diameter by a surprisingly svelte 10.9 millimeters thick and 51.1 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, with a 24 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Throwing it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it is very light. In spite of the fact that the dial is solid gold, the fact that the case is made entirely of sapphire and titanium means it wears fairly light on the wrist. It's flat enough that it can fit underneath a dress shirt, and I would recommend it for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters in circumference, as I'm really having no trouble wearing it on a 16 centimeter wrist. As you can see, the strap is large rectangular scale alligator leather, medium brown on the top. We have a folded edge. We have a monotone stitch. You can see on the bottom, small round scale alligator. It is a brand new Bethune factory strap. It has a pronounced taper to it. Gator on both sides is a way to make a more durable, longer lasting strap. More expensive, but worth it. We have a matching titanium Bethune branded teardrop profile pin buckle. Jumping back to the lugs, the DB25s are more conventional than the DB27s and the 28s. A lot of folks who don't like the open dials and the floating lugs of those other better known Bethune watches will find that this is the watch that helps them transition from more mainstream brands like Voutilanen, Grunefeld, Moser, and F.P. Journe. This will get you into Bethune with all that entails artisanally and scientifically, but with a more conventional case. You can also see that the little bullet tip ends of the lugs are directly descended from the DB1 chronograph of 2002. That's the last styling vestige of the original David Zanetta design for Bethune watches. The lugs are evacuated and hollow, which gives them a lovely trapeze-like appearance. The watch is almost like a suspension bridge on your wrist. A couple of character lines animate the case and give it some strength and definition, and then we roll to the dial, which has been engraved out of solid gold by in-house engraver Michel Rotin, who does all of the engraving and miniature sculpting for Bethune. The structures outboard of the feathered serpent, they are actual Aztec ruins as interpreted by Michel Rotin, and they surround a center that includes an amphitheater-like projection surrounding microlight engraving. So you can see this concentric pattern. That's done reductively like guilloche on a reduction engine, but unlike guilloche, it doesn't look traditional. It doesn't look like something you would find on a brigade. This is a very modern watch with a modern aesthetic. That's why Bethune uses this microlight engraving. Now, the miniature sculpture is literally a feathered serpent or Quetzalcoatl, and so you could see that it has a purpose, as it acts as the time-telling instrument of the watch. We have the head representing the hours and then the tail representing the minutes. And again, all of this is gold and hand engraved. Turn it over, and the caliber is sensational. Caliber 2005 from Bethune. It features another one of those little gold temple structures on the reverse side, twin barrels, self-adjusting, 6 days of power reserve. You can see that there is a full black polished plate over the base plate that is all finished with diamond paste. One of the most challenging duties for a finisseur, or a person who does finishing work, is black polish. And rather than just give you screws or regulators, Bethune gives you a full wall of the material. You can also see that the edges of the plate have been mirror beveled. It's quite impressive to see. There's a set of Côte de Bethune on the deltoid bridge that covers the twin barrels, and Côte de Bethune is essentially Geneva waves, but narrower, deeper, and with a stronger color gradient. You can also see that they mirror each other. Rather than having the dark facet on just one side all the way across, the darker face faces outboard on each side. They reverse the wheel that lays down the stripes. We have 1, 2, 3 shock protection springs based on triple parachute shock protection. This is the company's innovation for improving chronometry as well as the durability relevance of shock tolerance. Like, shock tolerance is there for two reasons. One is so you don't break the watch, but the other reason is to more rapidly recenter the balance staff so the watch can get back to keeping time. You could see that the entire triple parachute steel bridge for the shock protection springs on the flank, that has been black polished and beveled on its edge, and then the balance bridge has been mirror polished and continually rounded. We also have a patented yoke-style titanium balance with platinum masses outboard to put as much mass as possible outboard and reduce the effect of temperature on timing. There's a two-element hand-formed hairspring. It's two flat elements formed by hand and clamped together to be thin as a flat hairspring is and shock-resistant as a flat hairspring is, but also to give the concentric breathing properties of an overcoil. Finally, there's a low-friction proprietary silicone escape wheel, and it beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It is aesthetically and technically outstanding. All of this is 30 meters water resistant in grade 5 titanium, which is both lighter than steel and more scratch resistant. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing.